Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa for tonight's second round of the DECAF Late Model Tour here tonight, presented by the Coffee Cup Racing League. I am the boss man, Al Smith, bringing you all the action live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And after last week's season opener at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, we go super speedway racing for the short track racers of this Coffee Cup Racing League. Tonight's race in distance is 100 laps, and it will be a doozy. No qualifying as the field has been inverted from last week's finishing results. Do we have a few new drivers in to the server here tonight with us? But they will have to start shotgun on the field behind everybody that started here last week. Remember last week, as we take a look at tonight's race info here, it is the wrong one. Hang on one second. Here, anyway, last week it was Joe Schaefer Jr. who picked up the win. Last week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and so we'll take a look here now at our race information for the DECAF. It's the Burnt Popcorn Night presented by the Coffee Cup Racing League. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a hiccup. We got 76 degrees here tonight with a partly cloudy temperature. The track at 73 degrees. A lot of grip out there for these racers, but they are complaining over their team chats. The car's a little bit tight right now. We'll see if that happens to stay happening throughout the whole night, or if not. We see last week's season winner is Joe Schaefer Jr., and he is the current points leader of this series. As we take a look at the points before tonight's action, the current point standings for the DECAF here before we start racing. Let's see here, not working. Anyway, Joe Schaefer Jr. is in the points lead here as they come into the series, so he'll have to start in the 21st or 22nd starting spot here tonight, as we have 23 drivers logged in to do battle for 100 laps at the Iowa Speedway. Before the action gets started, we're going to step away for a moment, and we will get the national anthems in. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching the DECAF Late Model Tour on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And welcome back here. We'll take a look now as we got our point standings all squared up here. As we got one race in the books, and this is what the point series looks like. Joe Safer Jr. from the Posse, he leads over Guillaume Fortin, the driver from north of the border, Quebec, Canada, is where that driver calls home. He is sitting in second with 48 points. Then it is the 54 of Rex Hoyle, AJ Hamill, and Andy Lambert rounding out your top five after 1 week's of racing here on the DECAF Tour. And this week we are here not only at as we got things moving around inside the studio here tonight, but we are here in Newton, Iowa for tonight's Burnt Popcorn Night for the DECAF Late Model Tour. That is the 18 drivers that will do battle here for tonight. They'll start in reverse order as we look at the second page here. Chris Stump, Justin McDuff, and Stephen Page, Jason Garrett, all those drivers having tough luck last week. But the good news is they will be able to drop one race here in this series, so that is good news for those drivers, as they will be able to drop the one race as they go from there. But we'll be take a step away as the drivers are going to be headed into their drivers meeting. We'll be right back to bring you the start of the DECAF Tour Late Model Burnt Popcorn Night.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
Do what you can do, man.
Wait.
That's a strike right there. Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
Welcome back here as the drivers are down on pit road, getting the last minute instructions by series director AJ Hamill, the driver from Morrisville, Vermont here. I believe Morrisville, Vermont, driving for the Empire Racing team here. He'll be in action car number 18 tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how he will do. He has to start towards the tail end of this field. As we mentioned earlier on in tonight's broadcast, the field being set by an invert from last week. How that will happen throughout the rest of the season is going to be on a handicap. So the debate averages out your last 3 finishes, and that's how your lineups are going to be determined here for the Coffee Cup Racing League's DECAF Late Model Tour. So after tonight, we'll have a new lineup for next week, which is an off week actually, so we're going to take a little bit of time off. Then we'll be right back at it here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be at Langley Speedway on the 17th, followed by Myrtle Beach on the 24th, and the 31st will be Irwindale Speedway, as that'll bring us to the halfway point. These drivers have 10 weeks of racing that they are going to do battle for you each and every week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Again, my name is the Boss Man, the newest member of the Turn 3 Racing Network, so we're happy to bring you the action to you live here as the car's starting to fire back up, so they're going to go back out onto the racetrack. So we'll take a look right now and see where your favorite driver stands with just about 5 minutes, a little bit less in practice. Joe Schaefer Jr. going to have to start shotgun on the field here tonight, quickest in practice. He has got no stranger to this racetrack. A lot of these drivers having a lot of laps around the Iowa Speedway in this car as they come out onto the racing surface to do a little bit last minute fine tuning before we go. We got 23 cars, 24 cars strong is right now. The driver from Quebec is Guillaume Fort, and he's just loading into the Speedway. No time on that automobile as we take a watch here as they work around the Speedway. For the very first time, that is the session has checkered, flagged out, last minute session. So we'll take a look at our starting grid for the Burnt Popcorn 100 here tonight for the late model tour as they get ready to go here on the grid. Once they line them up here to get them up onto the racing surface, we'll take a look at tonight's starting grid for the DECAF Late Model Tour. Starting on the inside of the front row, the driver out of Carolina, the number 1, that is Stephen Page. To his outside, the driver out of Hudson Falls, New York, into Tim Hortons, number 20, that will be Justin McDuff. Starting on the inside of row number 2 in car number 35, that is Fluffy Jason Garrett. And the outside of him, the number 89, that is Adam Jones in the quick lane Ford car there. Starting on the inside of row number 3 will be the 777, that is the Casino Quest entry, that is Jeremy Carpenter. Outside of him, the driver out of Ballston Spa, New York, the number 9 of Brian Jones. Starting on the inside of row number 8 will be the 45, that is Casey Bietti. To his outside, the driver out of Ohio, Jeremy Line Watkins. Mike Holtzclaw will make up row number 9. With the outside of him, there'll be the number 46, last week's hard charger, that is Aaron the Wildman Maynard. Starting 11th will be the 95, that is Charlie Widener. And the 12th starting spot will go to the 85 of Jeff Stiles. Starting in the number 13th, starting with the 05 of Dylan Blankenship, scheduled to start there. Justin Rigsby, Matt Eddy, and A.J. Hamill making up row number 8. And as they come by the start-finish line here for the first time, we'll stay under yellow flag. Starting on the inside of row number 9 in the 8 o'clock coffee, the Priority Auto, number 8. That is Andy Lambert. Andy Lambert will be starting 17th. Outside of him, the driver out of Quebec, the 13, the 09 Motorsports Racing Design sponsored entry. That is Guillaume Fortin. Rex Hoyle in the car number 54 will start 19th with Joe Schaefer Jr., last week's feature winner. Going to be starting there on the outside of row number 10. Taking a look at the final starters, starting in the 21st spot will be the Bill Martin in car number 39. A.J. Rogers in car number 17 will start 22nd, with Jerry Stones and David Knowles rounding out your 24-car field. That is your starting grid. As the pace car is going to make the hard left-hand turn. We are about to go racing at Newton, Iowa for the DECAF Late Model Tour by the Coffee Cup Racing League. Green flag is out and the field is underway. Justin McDuff and Stephen Page leading down in the turn number 1. One car going around, that's the 45 of Casey Bietti. Bietti was gone around. Looks like we'll stay green, so a tough start for the driver. Number 45, that is Casey Bietti. tough start for that driver. He gets it pointing in the right direction. We'll stay underway. Is Justin McDuff jumping out to your early race lead, and that Tim Hortons number 20, his famous color scheme with the McDuff yellow, as he likes to call it, showing out front as they work down here in the turns 3 and 4. This time battle put lap number 2, side-by-side battle already. Aaron Maynard, the man on the move, is that number 46. He is already up 5 positions. He runs side by side with the number 9 of Brian Jones. Jason Garrett up the racetrack. They lose the momentum. 3 wide off the turn number 2. Down the backstretch they go. Maynard quickly up inside the top 3 as he looks to chase down Adam Jones, who runs second. Now a good side by side battle back here for your number 4 and 5 position as Jason Garrett and Brian Jones do battle. As we got good battles all the way around this speedway, still side by side. That is Justin Rigsby on the inside of the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter. Carpenter now going to get by him. 3 wide is Guillaume Fortin working to the outside. The 13, there's side by side with the 85 of Jeff Stiles and Mike Holtzclaw. They are side by side all the way back here. A lot of action going around. A little bit of an electrical issue on the 22 on pitroad.com entry from Mike Holtzclaw out of Tennessee. Meanwhile, up front, Justin McDuff has just checked out, but all the action is back here hot and heavy. This is the battle on the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the battle for your 9th position. You got Guillaume Fortin, the 13. He's going to split it, try to make it 3 wide underneath Watkins. And the 99 of Rigsby can't quite make it work, but he'll get by him. Here comes Holtzclaw in between Stiles and the 71 of Watkins. They're still 3 wide. Stiles going to drift up the racetrack almost into the left rear quarter panel of the 22 of Holtzclaw. Can't quite do anything with him that time. Down here in the turn number 1 they go. That Goodfellas, number 85 of Jeff Stiles, trying to make a way up through the field. A.J. Rogers in first week out here with the series. He runs there in your 13th position. He is up 9 spots so far since the green flag is dropped here at the Iowa Speedway. Bill Martin, A.J. Hamill up close in tow. They're trying to follow the number 6, Joe Schaefer Jr. as they come off the corner. Take a look at our wall cam here as they come flying down the back front stretch. Schaefer now working the inside of Mike Holtzclaw. So Schaefer, after starting in the 25th position, already up into the 11th position. Now working 3 wide between Watkins and Stiles in that 85 car. Almost some contact with that Ford Fusion, the Epic Media sponsored driver out of Wisconsin. Going to make it 3 wide. He'll get on by. He'll move himself into the 9th spot, so he's up 11 spots chasing the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Those 2 drivers came in 1-2 in the points. Guillaume Fortin all the way up to 6th already with just 10 laps in, as Adam Jones and Justin McDuff run side by side for your race lead off turn number 4. At the line, it was going to be Adam Jones leading the way as Justin McDuff working the outside of the speedway. Look at the run he gets working the outside. He'll pull back alongside, side by side. This is the battle for your race lead down in the turn number 3. Still side by side as they come in the turn number 1. Adam Jones running that extreme inside line. McDuff working the outside of the speedways. Can't quite shake him, as now McDuff will pull even with Jones down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. Last time by McDuff was a little bit quicker than the 89 of Jones, this time at the line. They are about dead even on there. As Jones gets loose, your race leader loose. Adam Jones slide for life. He keeps it gathered up, but he's going to lose a lot of time as he gets it back under speed. Aaron Maynard goes on by with Jason Garrett. Garrett's going to go by on the outside, so Jones is going to go from 1st to 4th and open up a gap, and now he tucks it back in line right there in front of the 13 of Fortin. Pardon me. Here they come off of turn number 2. Aaron Maynard leading this train over Garrett Jones and Fortin. Fortin going to take a dive down to the inside underneath the 89 of Adam Jones. He'll make that move. That'll move the 13 of Guillaume Fortin up to the 4th position. Right behind them, you see the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr., last week's winner. He's working the inside. Brian Jones is loose in the middle of the corner. Hangs on to it, but Jones going to get the outside wall. Yellow flag is coming out onto the speedway for the very first time. The 9 of Brian Jones. Heavy contact with the outside retaining wall. His will be slowed for the very first time here tonight. He takes the quick toe to pit road in the Shunies Country Market. Number 9, the driver out of Ballston Spa. Let's take a look and see what happened to Brian Jones as the truck says it's queued up here. Going down in the corner. Oh, just a little bit of contact between himself and Joe Schaefer Jr. And looks like the motor has given up the ghost on the number 9 of Brian Jones here. Let's take a look here once again. Yeah, Jones just got loose there after contact with the number 6 of Schaefer, it looks like. So let's take a quick look here. We'll go on board with Schaefer. Contact already made. But yeah, just a little bit of a contact there, and that's all she wrote for that driver. So we're slowed for the very first time here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. So a tough night started for the number 9 of Brian Jones. He's going to hit the outside Armco barrier. Dylan Blankenship in the 05 did not make the starting grid, so 23 cars took to the grid right now. So that really helps out this driver right here that's on screen. That is the number 45 of Casey Bietti. We saw him go for the slide for life off of turn number 1 and hit Easy Autos Verizon number 45. This yellow flag's going to close him back in. He's going to restart in the 22nd position. But now he's right there behind everybody else on the racetrack instead of trying to make up that ground. So a good break for him. Your pole sitter, Stephen Page, has slid back to the 21st position. So not the night that Page was looking to have, but he is a crafty veteran of racing on this sim. Don't count him out just yet, ladies and gentlemen. So Justin McDuff is your race leader here under the pit. Under here, the pace laps here at the Iowa Speedway. Let's see here if we can dial up the man leading the race here. We'll bring him down here into the booth.
Your channel.
Justin McDuff, this is the boss man up in the Turn 3 Racing Network's booth. I see the lights just came out. How's it going out there? The first 18 laps look pretty racy out there.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I think it's about to get a lot more intense here. Some of those faster guys have worked their way up through, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, we'll let you get back into the business there as the pace lights are out, and good luck the rest of the way. Maybe we'll talk to you later.
Thanks. Good luck.
So that was Justin McDuff. We'll try to catch up with a few of the drivers here on their pace laps if we get them. Already 18 laps in the books of this 75-lap main event here for the DECAF Late Model Tour at the Iowa Speedway. Justin McDuff going to line up on the inside of the front row. Outside of him, the wild man himself. That is Aaron Maynard. He'll start on the outside of that front road, and it is the 35 of Jason Garrett. Guillaume Fortin all the way up to the 4th spot as the green flag is about to come out. A little bumper tag there. Justin McDuff's going to get a nice shove as Garrett's going to move into your number 2 spot. Is Maynard going to get swallowed up on this one? The 13 of Guillaume Fortin going to go around the outside of that 46. Fortin, the man on a mission with the Racing Designs number 13, the 09 Motorsports entry. He's working to the outside of Garrett. That'll be the battle for your number 2 spot. Side by side to come off of turn number 4. It'll be the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. He'll move to your number 2 spot, looking to chase down, scraping the wall. Not the fast way to go is Bill Martin, and now is working to the inside. That is of the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr., Bill Martin, a multi-winner here at the Iowa Speedway. Lots of laps, crafty veteran of the service. His heel work to the inside, trying to find a way around Schaefer and Jones. Maynard up in the outside wall, off of turn number 4. Everybody minding their P's and Q's. Jones, now they're going to go 3 wide. Down the backstretch they come. Right into your living rooms, ladies and gentlemen. We got trouble. Maynard going to go down. Yellow flag is out. Trouble on the backstretch. It looks like the 46 of Aaron Maynard involved. His yellow flag will come out for the second time here tonight. So we'll take a peek and see what happened here with the yellow flag. I believe the 46 of Aaron Maynard. Heavy damage to the front and back end of that late model here. So we'll see what happened. Down the backstretch, they come off turn number 2. Schaefer on the inside, just kind of washed up, ran out of real estate. Maynard up on the outside, nothing he could have done any different. Just 3 wide racing on the restart. So a tough break for the driver, the 46, out of Lyndonville, Vermont. See him up there high, maybe a little bit of a contact between the 89 and the 6 of Joe Schaefer, which sent the 6 up into the 46. So a tough ride for the driver of that number 46 here. Let's see if we'll go on board with him. As you see the onboard camera presented by the Turn 3 Racing Network, and well, that's not the ride that you want out there, as he gets that pointed back in the right direction, but not the way he wanted to go. So he is down on pit road. Same with Joe Schaefer Jr. here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So he is on pit road. You see him right there. So a tough break for that driver. As we're under pace lap, how about we talk to our hard charger right now? That is the number 39. See if he has got his ears on. It does not look like he does, so we will not take a word with him. But that's the 39. That's the driver out of Madison, Wisconsin, the Ray Bestis Brakes entry. This is Bill Martin. As the field takes some paces around the Newton, Iowa Speedway. So that's going to shake up the points here after just 1 week of action. Joe Schaefer, who was involved with that accident, he is down on pit road right now. See the crew working on that Epic Media number 6. He's down on pit road. Still on the lead lap as he gets down and away, so fixing that damage as he pulls down off of pit road. We'll see him come back out on the action. Tough break for the driver in that number 6 car. He has worked himself all the way up inside the top 10. He'll rejoin the field here out onto the speedway. So far, only one retiree, and that was the driver from Ballston Spa, the number 9 of Brian Jones. He's pulled that car behind pit wall of extensive engine damage, so hopefully we'll see him in a couple weeks' time at the Langley Speedway when these drivers are back in action. But up front, Justin McDuff showing the way. He's got a little bit of rear end damage there from that restart. That last restart there Garrett was ready to go, gave McDuff a heck of a launch. That inside line got going. Well, you could hear it when we interviewed McDuff a few laps ago. He was worried about the competition coming in his rear mirror, and he's got some fast competition on the outside line right now. The 13 of Guillaume Fortin going to start to his immediate outside as the lights go out on the Ford Mustang pace car here, with just under 50 laps to go in tonight's main event. Right now, Justin McDuff does have the fastest race of the fastest lap of the race. Guillaume Fortin going to start second. Then it is Garrett Martin. Jeff Stiles in that number 85, the black and white car on your screen. He'll start fifth. Outside of him, Jeremy Carpenter. Another driver from New York. He's having a good night so far, running in the 6th spot. AJ Rogers, who started deep in the field, he's up 15 spots. Finds himself in the 7th. Justin Rigsby, Matt Eddy, and Mike Holtzclaw rounding out your top 10 as the green flag is about to come back out. We're back underway here at the Iowa Speedway. Justin McDuff down to the inside. Guillaume Fortin going to get that 09 Motorsports entry wound up on the outside. See if he can make us run at McDuff down the backstretch. I do not believe that rear end damage is going to make that much of a difference for the 20 of McDuff. McDuff going to come by lead this lap as we have Guillaume Fortin side-by-side battle back there for your 3rd spot between Bill Martin. Now Bill Martin has cleared the 35 of Garrett. Now Fortin going to take a peek down to the inside. He'll drive it in deep down in the turn number 3. No, almost contact between those two drivers. They come off of turn number 4. McDuff on the outside, Fortin on the inside. At the line, it was McDuff by half a car in that Tim Hortons sponsored number 20. Now Fortin down the inside. He'll get the lead just for a moment. Here comes McDuff rifling back up on the outside. Good battle at the front of this one. Side by side down to the turn number 3. Cars still side by side. It is McDuff on the outside. Fortin on the inside. Wheel to wheel off the corner. And at the line, it's going to be the Fortin mobile. He led that lap at the line. McDuff working the outside of the speedway with that Racing Designs 09 entry of Guillaume Fortin. He's going to try to slide up. Couldn't quite clear McDuff that time. Down in the turn number 3 they go. Bill Martin watching all this right there in front of him. He's got Jason Garrett working to the back bumper. A little bit of contact that time off of turn number 4. Garrett got loose. That allows the 17 of AJ Rogers to get to the outside. So Rogers now side by side back there. This is the battle for your 4th and 5th spot. Rogers going to clear Garrett down in the turn number 3, so that'll move him into the 4th spot. Stiles trying to find a way around. He'll go to the outside. Justin Rigsby right there as well in the number 99. Right there in the 7th spot. Matt Eddy now going to go side by side as Stiles goes there. Eddy in that 88 automobile. He's underneath Carpenter, that Casino Quest sponsored automobile, the 777. Those drivers side by side. Now AJ Rogers going to go side by side with the 39 of Bill Martin. They almost touched down in the turn number 1. They might have. They come off the corner. We'll go on board with Jason Garrett with the Turn 3 Racing Network's onboard camera here tonight. Watching that side-by-side battle right there in front of them, trying to figure out which line to go with. So again, you see how close they are. Almost contact once again down in the turn number 1. Garrett really rolling the center of the corner really good right now. Martin going to pull out back in front of that number 17. Still a good side-by-side battle back here for your 8th and 9th position. That is the 777 of Carpenter and Eddie in the 88, they're side by side. Now Styles tries to get underneath the 35 of Garrett. You see it in your left-hand side of your screen as they go down the backstretch. A lot of action around A.J. Hamill, and the Arts Barbershop starting to move his way forward. He works underneath the on-pit road entry of Mike Holtzclaw. That is the battle for your 10th spot. So A.J. Hamill cracking the top 10 for the very first time here tonight. He's got Andy Lambert and Rex Hoyle close in tow, as well as Garrett got loose that time off the corner. Garrett got loose, and that allows the 85 of Styles and the 99 of Rigsby to get by. Maybe some contact there. We did not catch it with our cameras. Jason Garrett holding on to that position for the time being as Eddie and Carpenter still side by side. Hamill and Holtzclaw side by side. Then right there behind them it is the number 92 of David Knowles making his first start of the season, I believe. He's working his way up through there pretty well on his number 92. He's working to the outside of the American Tire drivers. Oh, as the 88 of the 22 make contact. Mike Holtzclaw and Matt Eddy making contact. Yellow flag is out. The 71 of Watkins almost getting caught up in that one as Matt Eddy got a little out of shape there. We'll take a see what happened with the Turn 3 Racing Networks replay here as we take a look back on this one. Down in the turn number 1, oh, you see the 22 and the 88 make a little bit of contact there. See if we can get it a little bit further back, get a little bit of a different racing angle. You see the 22 right behind Eddie down in the corner, and just, a little bit of, it looked like bumper tag down in the turn number 1. Maybe a little bit of net code there as well. If you're new to the iRacing surface, it's that happens, unfortunately, where iRacing thinks there's going to be a little bit of contact there. We'll see if there's... Yeah, they were close racing there. Maybe just took the air off the backside of that number 88 of Matt Eddy, but Eddy hard to the outside wall. And then Watkins able to come back by. So Matt Eddy down on pit road. He looks like he has been done in a way as he comes down pit road at Aaron Maynard. So a tough break for the driver. They were racing inside the top 10 with contact between himself and the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Brings us under caution here for the third time here tonight in the Burnt Popcorn 75. Just past halfway under this yellow flag, we'll take and go through the current running field. Guillaume Fortin up 17 spots. He is not the hard charger, believe it or not. He finds himself in the first position. Justin McDuff in the Tim Hortons number 20 car. He'll start in the second position once we go back. Green flag racing right behind him. The 17 of A.J. Rogers. He's up 19 spots. He's the current hard charger of the race. This driver out of Pennsylvania. The 17 of A.J. Rogers. Then it is Bill Martin. And the Ray Bestis entry, the number 39. He is in your number 4 position. Jeff Styles runs there in 5th. 6th spot belongs to, they call him Fluffy. This is Jason Garrett. In car number 35 out of Knightstown, Indiana, the Highline Racing CB Fabricating entry. He finds himself 6th. Justin Rigsby, 7th. That very nice looking number 99 out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. And outside of him is the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter with the CEG Casino Quest Chevrolet. He finds himself in the 8th position. Then it is the league promoter himself, the Arts Barbershop, number 18, the Orca sponsored number 18. This is A.J. Hamill. He sits in your 9th position. Then in the 10th position, rounding out your top 10, the Priority Auto. Number 8, that is Andy Lambert. Andy Lambert, rounding out your top 10. One spot out of a top 10, up 8 spots is the American Tire Distributors number 54. That is Rex Hoyle. Right behind him is the driver out of Tennessee. That's Mike Holtzclaw with the onpitroad.com. Ford. David Knowles in car number 92. First time out with us here tonight in the DECAF Late Model Tour presented by the Coffee Cup Racing League. Finds themselves 13th. Jerry Stones, the driver you can see on Wednesday nights here on the Turn 3 Racing Network in the Nitro Series, which is the ARCA car. He finds himself in the 14th spot. Joe Schaefer Jr. in that number 6 finds himself in the 15th position. Charlie Widener, Adam Jones, Casey Bietti there. Stephen Page, Jeremy Watkins, and Aaron Maynard still on the lead lap. The number 88 of Matt Eddy still out onto the Speedway, but he is down laps to your race leader, so his night got a little bit longer. This time by, when we go by, it'll be 44 in the books. It'll be 31 laps to go. When we cross the stripe here is Johnny Pacer going to get ready to pull the iRacing Mustang pace car off of the racing surface. Guillaume Fortin and Justin McDuff on the front row. They'll step on the gas pedal first, and it is Fortin with a nice launch there down the front stretch. Looked like possibly Joe Schaefer Jr. got caught down on the inside of evasive action. Is there 3 wide back there? Justin McDuff and A.J. Rogers go side by side off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, yellow flag is coming out. It looks like possibly the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw in trouble. His yellow flag will come out as the field slows for the 4th time here tonight. Crew says down in the truck that they got it queued up. We'll take a look here and see what happened to the number 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Down in the turn number 1 they go. He's on the outside of David Knowles. Just 3 wide, him and the 6 of Knowles and Schaefer. Kind of just nowhere to go. Ran out of room in the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Going to get the short end of that stick there. Let's see, we'll take a different look here down in the corner. See him 3 wide down to the inside. Schaefer on the inside. Maybe a little net code between himself and Knowles. That got into the outside of the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. And the Holtzclaw got around Jerry Stone. Nowhere to go. And around goes the driver of the onpitroad.com number 22. So a tough break for the driver. They're out of Limestone, Tennessee. As we go back live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, let's see if we can dial up our buddy there that runs in the 3rd position. This is A.J. Rogers. A.J. Rogers, the boss man up here in the Turn 3 booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got a copy. My mic is messed up, so I don't know how I sound or what. I don't know if you want to interview me or not, but I'm having issues with technical issues. Let's just put it that way.
It sounds pretty good on my side. You so far up 19 positions here. Getting towards the end of the stages. You got anything for your front two?
I hope so. I haven't really got a chance to see what line they're running. As long as you can keep this thing lined out pretty good on the high side, it seems like it's pretty fast. So we'll see. I just got to get up top and go from there. Hopefully I can get in front of Bill and these guys and roll on with it.
All right, well, wish you good luck here. So we'll let you get back to business inside the cockpit of that number 17. But good luck here the rest of the way.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for what y'all do. You have a good night.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the driver of the number 17. That's A.J. Rogers up into the 3rd position. The hard charger, 19 spots so far here tonight. Having a little bit of radio issues, he thinks, down there, so maybe a hard time hearing his crew chief down on pit road. 48 laps into the books with that Midwest entry number 17. That is AJ Rogers. He's got Bill Martin to the outside. Bill also started towards the back of the field after missing last week's race at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Believe it or not, Bill was moving last week, so he had to leave the car in the garage and up on the jack stands. He said it killed him to do so, but he's out here tonight in Newton, Iowa. Not that far of a drive for that driver, the 39, as he is from Madison, Wisconsin. So just a few-hour drive down here to the Iowa Speedway tonight. He'll tow back home and be ready to go in 2 weeks' time when we head to the Myrtle Beach Speedway. So it's season going to come along pretty good. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes. We started last week at the new track at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. So we take a look at your upcoming races here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll see we're off next week, but then we head to the Langley Speedway. Then we head to Myrtle Beach on the 24th, and then we round out the month of August at the Irwindale Speedway in Irwindale, California. So these drivers are going to be up and around the coast here, practicing that social distancing, by the way. So they're doing pretty well here with the tour. 24 drivers scheduled to race here tonight. 23 took the green flag. It looks like possibly Joe Schaefer Jr. and Brian Jones out of the race here tonight. So tough start that season. We're going to get 25 laps to go when the green flag comes out. Guillaume Fort and Justin McDuff, they call him J-Mac, starting on the outside of the front row. Then it is AJ Rogers, Bill Martin, Jeff Stiles, and Jason Garrett rounding out row number 3. The green flag is about to drop, and we're back underway here as they work down in the turn number 1. It is the 13 of Fortin showing the way over that number 20 of Justin McDuff. AJ Rogers working to the inside. Is that will try to slide up there. Can't quite clear the 20 of McDuff. That allows Bill Martin to come back into play. They're side by side. Jeff Stiles in that Goodfellow car. The 85 working to the inside of Bill Martin. That's the battle for 4th. As Justin McDuff will hold on to that second spot for the time being. As AJ Rogers works to the inside. Bill Martin to the back bumper of J-Mac. They work off turn number 2. Down the back stretch they go side by side. Garrett and Stiles swapping paint off the nose and the front bumper of that number 35. They work side by side. AJ Rogers trying to clear the 20. Bill Martin got a little bit loose that time, so Martin in trouble down the front stretch. Heavy right front damage on that Ray Bestis number 39. Justin Rigsby's going to close in on the 39. That'll move the 35 of Garrett. He'll move up to your 4th position. Garrett said the car was tight to his liking during the practice session. He looks like he's found that gear as he runs there in your 4th position, trying to find a way around the 17 of AJ Rogers. Bill Martin and the 99 of Justin Rigsby doing battle side by side. AJ Hamill with a nice move that time off turn number 2 in the Arts Barbershop number 18. He'll take a look down to the inside of Jeremy Carpenter, who's having a nice run, and he's slid back to your 9th spot, but Carpenter started the inside of the top 10, currently runs there in your 9th position. Rex Hoyle, there. Jeff Stiles back to the inside of the 39 of Bill Martin. AJ Hamill closing in on that battle. We're going to take and go on board with the 18 of AJ Hamill with the turn 3 racing. Stiles hard in the outside wall. He is going to collect the 39 of Martin. Yellow flag number 5 coming out onto the speedway as we were on board with AJ Hamill. As the yellow flag will come out. Here's the field slows with just 20 laps to go here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Let's see here. We got the yellow flag queued up here as they come off the corner. See the 85 of Stiles and the 39 of Bill Martin. In there, Adam Jones as well in the 89 car. Caught up in there. Heavy damage to the Ray Bestis. Brakes number 39. Let's see if we can back it up a little bit further. We see him coming through the corner. Styles slides up the racetrack. Oh, just clobbered the outside wall. Got down in the Bill. Hamill nowhere to go. Carpenter nowhere to go. Same with the number 89 of Adam Jones. Calamity corner right there at the end of the turn number 4. Let's watch it back one last time. We go on board with Jeremy Carpenter. Styles hard on the outside wall, just nowhere to go. And Bill Martin slides up right in front of the Casino Quest CEG Chevy Impala here on the front stretch to bring out our yellow flag. So we'll go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as Jeremy Carpenter's going to bring that 777. Not so lucky here tonight in Newton, Iowa, down on pit road to get the damage fixed on that. But Guillaume Fortin showing the way up here on the front of this one. 18 laps to go. Fortin, no stranger to this race car, has ran with the Friends Series of the Coffee Cup Racing League, the Upstate Racing League, for multiple seasons. Started out in this car. They can be found here on the Turn 3 Racing Network on Thursday nights starting in the fall. But this coming Wednesday, the Coffee Cup Racing League is going to be in action right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with their Nitro Series. That series is winding down. Got a good points battle as that series heads out west to the Las Vegas Speedway. And then that series will be off next week as well, as the Coffee Cup Racing League will take a little bit of a break, let the teams regroup. So a tough night for some of these drivers who are in the points contentions here. So the 13 of Guillaume Fortin, the only Canadian in the field here tonight, leading the way here in Iowa. Got special permission to make it across the border. Justin McDuff kind of just quietly sitting there. You got to wonder if that rear end damage is hampering the efforts of that number 20. He runs there in your number 2 spot. Take a look at that rear damage on that Tim Hortons Ford, the drive for the Empire Racing team. Justin McDuff. Calls Hudson Falls home, but he's currently out there in western New York doing battle. So the pace lights are still on. We're going to take a quick break here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You will not miss a thing. We'll be right back here just after a quick word from our sponsors.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as here we go, ready to go. Green flag racing. Back underway with Guillaume Fortin going to jump out into the race lead with the 20 of Justin McDuff. Side by side, down in the corner, McDuff going to really make a charge this time off turn number 2. Fortin not able to get away. McDuff going to try to get there. The 17 of Rogers tries to slide up in front of Garrett. Can't quite do it that time in the turn number 3. Rogers going to drive it in deep as they work off turn number 3. Rogers to the inside of the 20 of McDuff. McDuff right to the back bumper now. McDuff going to go up to the high side of the speedway, try to get that momentum built up, try to get to the outside of the 13 of 14 of Fortin. Fortin going to hold on to it. Garrett and Rogers almost making moves. And how about this for the first time tonight, the 18 of A.J. Hamill inside your top 5 as they work off of turn number 4. He's racing the 99 of Justin Rigsby. That's the battle for 5th as they work down in the turn numbers 1 and 2. Andy Lambert in the priority auto number 8. He runs there on the outside of Rex Hoyle. Charlie Widener and the 92 of Knowles right there as well as you throw them all underneath the blanket as they chase your race leaders down to the turn number 3. Off the corner they come right down the front stretch. We go on with our wall cameras here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. They working off turn number 2. And down the back stretch. Whoa, one car hard in the outside wall. Looks like could possibly be trouble. Yellow flag is coming out. Looks like the 92 of David Knowles involved. Heavy damage to that number 92 with smoke billowing from underneath that automobile. With just 10 laps to go in tonight's competition. Let's see here if we can get the caution road back up here with the 92 of David Knowles, who went to the outside racing Jerry Stone in that NASA number 91. Came out the corner. Oh, Charlie Widener had issues that time off the corner, causing a big stack up. Let's see if we can see what caused that. As Charlie Widener having some issues off the corner. See him already kind of in trouble already. Maybe some contact there with Charlie Widener. So let's see. We'll go back a little bit further here. He's racing the number 8 of Andy Lambert. He caught the apron, ladies and gentlemen, up in front of Jerry Stone. Stone up into the 92. And then Stephen Page nowhere to go as well, as it was on like Donkey Kong on the back stretch there in turn number 3. We'll watch it from the top, the scoring pylon here. Yeah, just nowhere to go in the 95. And it looks at the evasive driving. Nice driving by the 39 of Bill Martin. Able to get through that one somehow. Let's go on board and watch that driving for the driver of the 39. See it happen right there in front of him. And the C's part, a close call there to almost get in the 92 of Jerry Stone. But was not able to do so. So we'll go back live with Guillaume Fortin showing the way here. Looking back at the field. Just 8 laps to go. Thank you guys all watching out there on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you're watching on the YouTube, or if you're not, head on over to our YouTube channel, Turn 3 Racing Network. Give it a like and a subscribe. Mash that like button if you like what these drivers are doing for you here tonight at the Iowa Speedway as they pace around here. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an exciting race. We've seen 2, 3, and possibly, I think they could do 4 wide. I don't know about you guys out there watching, but I think that they could do 4 wide racing here at the Iowa Speedway. Justin McDuff was able to stay right there with the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Maybe does he not shown his full cards yet? The driver that 20. Having the rebound after a tough break last week at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Had the call of the night early last week. Finds himself sitting in your number 2 position here tonight, so he's going to rebound nicely. These drivers do get a drop in the season standings before there is a cutoff point where the drops cannot be used anymore. So, but right now, looking at your top 5 drivers, Guillaume Fortin up 17 spots. Justin McDuff started second, runs in second. How about this? The hard charger, A.J. Rogers, driver out of Pennsylvania. He runs there in your 3rd position. That is A.J. Rogers. And then right there behind him, the driver of the 35, Jason Garrett. He runs 4th. A.J. Hamill up from the 16th position. He started the 16th. He's up to 5th, rounding out your top 5. One driver outside the top 5. That's the 99 of Justin Rigsby with his Heritage Shop car number 99, the Attitude Esports driver. Then it's the 54 of Rex Hoyle. Calls Kernsville, North Carolina home in the 505 Motorsports. With the York Capital Financial entry, number 54 to his outside, the Priority Auto. Number 8 of Andy Lambert, the driver out of Vermont. Then it's the driver out of Tennessee. The 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. Rounding 9th, and in rounding out your top 10, we just saw him get in a little bit of trouble there. That's Charlie Widener in car number 95 out of Thurman, North Carolina. But ladies and gentlemen, we are about to settle this one with 5 laps to go when the green flag drops. So I hope you're strapped in tight at home. Tell grandma to take her teeth out. This one's going to get wild as they get ready to go off of turn number 4. Guillaume Fortin and Justin McDuff leading the field down to the green flag. We are back underway as they led down in the turn number 1. Fortin with a nice start, but McDuff right to the door panel. That time through turns 1 and 2. McDuff going to work to the outside as they come off of turn number 2. He'll clear the number 17 of A.J. Rogers. Now try to do battle with the 13 of Guillaume Fortin as they run side by side behind him. Garrett and A.J. Rogers battling it out for your 3rd and final podium position. 4 laps to go this time at the line for Guillaume Fortin as A.J. Rogers trying to hold off the advances of the number 35 of Garrett with Justin Rigsby there in the 5th spot. A.J. Hamill running 6th. He'll work to the outside of Rigsby down the backstretch trying to find a way around that number 99. Rex Hoyle and the number 8 of Andy Lambert running side by side. They've ran their way through the field all night long. They are like magnets, can't quite get away from each other as they run there in your 8th and 7th positions respectively. Oh, little door slam right there on the number 8 of Andy Lambert. He got moved up the racetrack. Now Garrett's going to take a look down low. That's the battle for 3rd. Down in the turn number 3 they go. This time by will be rabbit ears at the flag stand. The director of traffic control, Dave Farney, shows them 2 laps to go for the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Side-by-side battle back here for your number 4 position. That's the battle for 5th. Is Rigsby now really starting to come on as he's trying to find a way around the 35 of Garrett. And Garrett's trying to find a way around the 17 of Rogers. Last time, this time by, the white silk will fly. The fat lady starting to warm her vocals as the white flag flies, presented by Arts Barbershop. The 13 of Guillaume Fortin showing the way. Justin McDuff right there in your number 2 spot. Back there for your 3rd spot, Jason Garrett trying to take a bid on the 17 of Rogers. Couldn't quite do it. They work down the backstretch. Off of turn number 3. McDuff right to the back bumper this time. Off of 4 for the final time. Guillaume Fortin's going to pick up the win. The 2nd race of the DECAF Late Model Tour. Justin McDuff will come home 2nd. A.J. Rogers will come home 3rd with Justin Rigsby and Jason Garrett rounding out your top 5. Is that will do tonight's 75 lap, the burnt popcorn night here at the Iowa Speedway. Here is the top 3. We'll start bringing them down here to the front stretch. Guillaume Fortin gonna be the 2nd driver in DECAF Late Model Tour history to put his name into the record books with his Toyota Camry. We will be right back here with our post-race show in just a moment.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back to the Iowa Speedway, where tonight's burnt popcorn night for the DECAF Late Model Tour has just come to an end, and it is none only than the Guillaume Fortin up 17 positions here tonight, picking up the win. And Guillaume, down here in victory lane, well, you came from the back. You had to work for this one, up 17 spots. Talk about your race.
Well, I can't say it was an easy one coming from 17, but like this track is really wide, so it made it more easy than a short track to pass. I made some ball move 3 wide, and it came to the front where I was able to pass Justin and hang on for the win.
So this week you come from the back and you're going to win here at Iowa Speedway. How tricky was it coming from the back of the field? The field was inverted from how you guys finished last week, and you had some fast guys up in front of you. Did you know you had to get up to the front in a hurry?
I tried to take my time, but honestly, it's such an easy track here to pass because it's so wide. So I made some move, and I got pretty quickly to the top 10. And when I got to the top 10, I started to save a little bit of tire for the end and made my way to the front.
Well, next week we have an off week, and then we head to the Langley Speedway, where, depending on how your average works out, you probably will be starting somewhere towards the back. How tricky is that going to be in 2 weeks' time for you to come up through the field at a track like Langley?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's so short there, and you don't have a lot of straightaway to make passes, so it's going to be a waiting game to see who makes mistake and trying to avoid wreck, and slowly but surely makes our way to the front.
Well, before we let you go here, we'll roll out the red carpet and let you thank everybody that makes it possible for you week in and week out here for the DECAF Late Model Tour.
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank my teammate at 09 Motorsport. They're the one helping me every week. Also, Racing Design and you guys for broadcasting the race.
Well, there you hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's winner, the second driver in history for the DECAF Late Model Tour, that is Guillaume Fortin, picking up the win here tonight and finishing in your number 2 position, the driver out of Hudson Falls, New York, in the Tim Hortons entry. That's Justin McDuff. And Justin, coming here tonight in the number after a rough week at North Wilkesboro, it has to be satisfying to finish inside the podium here at Iowa.
Yeah, it's a good rebound. Last week was really disappointing. My race was over before it really even started. And then tonight, I wish I would have not tried to save as much tire there and race Guillaume a little harder, because I felt like if I had a long run like it looked like we were going to have, I might have been a little bit better than him. But I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those deals. It was just so hard to pass, and these restarts were so tough, and everyone's just going for every little inch they can get. So it was a lot of fun, and it was good hard racing. I took advantage of the situation and got a good finish.
Do you think that damage that you got on that one restart to the rear of the car, did that hamper the performance of your Tim Hortons sponsored automobile?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I know I got 4X from it, but it was just one of those deals. Maynard started to roll on my outside, and I goosed the car real quick, and then the green wasn't out, so I let off, and then JJ just got into me. It was just one of those stack of weird restart deals, but it is what it is. I don't think it really affected me negatively at all. It's just one of those deals.
Well, you come home with a second place finish here tonight for the Empire Racing team. Who makes it all possible for you week in and week out?
Well, I got to thank my Empire Racing team teammates, AJ, Chris, and Stefan. Chris isn't here tonight. He's currently singing a hurricane in North Carolina, but I think AJ had a pretty decent run up through there. Thanks to you, Al, for all you do with the broadcast. You're doing a great job, and I look forward to watching this one. I think it was a really good one, even with all the yellows. And thanks to AJ for all the hard work he does on the website, on Facebook, and everything else for this league. It's really cool to see how big of a driver base this league already has in its first year of existence.
Definitely, and we thank you there. So good luck at Langley in 2 weeks' time. Enjoy the week off. Get everything scattered back there. We'll see you at the Langley Speedway. Now we'll walk down here a little bit further on track, and AJ Rogers has climbed from his number 17, and that will be where he finishes third. You're going to be the hard charger, young man. Up 19 spots here tonight.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't know if anybody can hear me. My mic's off and all messed up and everything, but that was a lot of fun. It was difficult coming from the back, and I raced some good guys and just had an absolute blast. So I can't complain.
Well, we hope that you survive the double derby that's going on right now. But yeah, it was.
I had my car cut off and just got drilled, so I guess I didn't go fair.
So it's something fun at the Coffee Cup Racing League does. You watch on Wednesday nights, you know that they take and do this there. But it was watching you come up to the field was entertaining, and you got into some hairy positions out there. How intense was it coming from the back of the field to get up, at least into the top 10? Because even the top 10, the racing was very, very intense.
Yes, it was. It was, having to make some stupid moves at times. But you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I got in the bill, and I think me and JJ got into each other. But it's just hard racing. This track's so big, you gotta keep the car wound out and get all you can get. As the minute you slow down, you lose so much momentum, and you get passed by 2 or 3 cars. But no, it was a lot of fun coming from the back. I'm pretty excited that I was able to join this league, and look forward to coming back in 2 weeks and racing again. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we look forward to see you at Langley Speedway. And who makes it all possible for you and your team week in and week out here on the Turn 3 Racing Network?
That would be Will and Dylan, Midwest Power Source, Epic Media, RBRC, and just all my friends, and especially my kids. They get a kick out of coming down and watching me do this. So I have to say hi to Emily and Aubrey, and they love it, and I can't wait till she's old enough to do it. So it's just, I can't complain. It's too much fun at times, and then there's other times I hate it.
Yeah, well, I think that's all part of auto racing here. But congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and good luck here in this demo derby that's broken out on the front stretch.
I'm trying to find everybody. I'm kind of broke. I can't turn right now, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's your 3rd place finisher here tonight, AJ Rogers, as he will finish the round out your podium here as he just got into the 95 of Charlie Widener here. So it's kind of a fun deal that they do here on the front stretch. As you see, I believe maybe AJ Rogers was the last car out there. Maybe our interview saving him a little bit there as we take a look here at your finishing results here for the Coffee Cup here. And it's Guillaume Fortin picking up the win, holding off the advances of Justin McDuff. AJ Rogers will finish 3rd, followed by Justin Rigsby and Jason Garrett rounding out your top 5. AJ Hamill will come home 6th, followed by Rex Hoyle, Andy Lambert, Charlie Widener, and Adam Jones rounding out the top 10. Mike Holtzclaw will finish 11th, Bill Martin, Jeff Stiles, Jeremy Watkins, Stephen Page rounding out the top 15. Matt Eddy will have to settle for a 16th finish after hard contact with the outside wall in turns 1 and 2. Jerry Stones and Jeremy Carpenter rounding out your 18th position. Finishing 19th will be the wild man, Aaron Maynard. He'll finish 19th in the car number 46. David Knowles, Casey Bietti, Joe Schaefer Jr., Brian Jones, and Dylan Blankenship unable to start here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. But that'll do it here, as we will see you in 2 weeks' time at the Langley Speedway when the DECAF Late Model Tour is back in action. Make sure you subscribe and like the Turn 3 Racing Network here on our YouTube platform. And we'll see you at the races. The Coffee Cup back in action Wednesday night at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas. We hope everybody has a safe and good week here, and we'll see you at the racetrack.